I want to show you a brilliant technique for really getting inside the head of your reader, a way to experience the world as they do. It's a technique called empathy mapping. And first, let's take a look at what you can use this technique for. So some of the things I've helped my clients use empathy mapping to do include brainstorming blog content, working out what questions or problems their target reader wants answers to, crafting a sales message or elevator pitch, so establishing what the audience's motivations and pain points are so you can address them in your pitch, planning reports, working out what information the reader really wants and needs, communicating a difficult message, for example, anticipating how an employee might respond to an upcoming change such as redundancies or a restructure. Now, this list isn't exhaustive. Whatever you're writing, getting inside your reader's head is really going to help you craft something compelling. With empathy mapping, you paint a really detailed picture of how your reader is experiencing the world, what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they're saying, what they're thinking and feeling. Let's nip back to the studio to take a closer look at how it works. Now you're going to need a blank piece of paper and a pen. As you can see, I'm about to use a flip chart, but any piece of paper will do. And you begin by, in the centre of your piece of paper, drawing a picture that represents your reader. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm not the most gifted of artists, but you'll get the idea. So that's our reader. And then around our reader, you want to draw 4 main sections. And each section will be devoted to a different element of the way your reader sees the world. Sees the world in this case. This top section will be how they think and feel. Okay? The next section down here is all about what they say and what they do. And finally, you can probably work out that this section is all about what they hear. And then at the bottom, we have a section devoted to, on the one hand, their pains, what it is that's troubling them, what their worries are, what they'd like to fix in their life, and their gains. So what it is they're seeking to achieve and the things that you might be able to help them achieve. So that's our basic empathy map. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll start to fill in each of those sections. The result is going to give you a snapshot of your reader's world, what a typical day is like. Now you're probably thinking, well, how do I know what my reader thinks, feels, sees, says, does and hears? So to populate this empathy map, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to draw on your own intelligence about your reader. So let's look at some of the places you can gather that intelligence. So first of all, what have they said to you? If they're a customer, for example, have you asked for their feedback? Or what have they said in informal discussions? If they're an employee, what have they said in the employee survey? Or what are you hearing around the water cooler? What are they saying online? For example, what are they saying on social media, in blog comments, discussion forums, or product reviews on Amazon? If you're not sure, go and find out. And then, what do you imagine their world to be like? As well as doing research on your reader, you'll need to use a little bit of instinct and creativity and your own experiences to paint your picture. Let's take a look at an example in action. Let's say I want to launch a fashion blog for busy working mums. I've done my research, I've looked at Mumsnet, I've read all the other fashion blogs out there, I've talked to my friends who are busy working mums, and I've got a good idea of what my target reader is. So with that in mind, I'm going to fill in my empathy map, and I'm going to start by giving my reader a name. Let's call her Kate. As you'll recall from a previous lecture, I definitely advise giving your readers a single name and having one person in mind. So this is Kate. So let's start with what Kate sees on a day basis. So I'm guessing that every time she looks in the mirror, my Kate sees 10 pounds of extra baby weight. So here I am with my filled in empathy map for our reader Kate, and what it's done is it's given me a real insight into the way Kate sees and experiences the world, and all the information on here has been distilled into some pains and gains. So we've learned from this exercise that she has no me time, that she feels frumpy and inadequate, that she's lost her mojo, and that she's on a tight budget. And those are the things that we might want to explore in the blog. We also want to make sure that our blog helps her achieve her gains, so it will save her time and money. She will feel stylish, confident, sexy and powerful, and that's what our aim will be in writing the blog. And that fashion is going to be fun and inspiring, not a stick to beat her with. And she's going to have the confidence to know exactly what to wear to any occasion. And within each of these sections, certain blog posts, not everything here is going to necessarily lead to a particular blog post, but some of them will. So for example, how do I rediscover my style? I've no idea what to wear. That was lifted more or less word for word from a Mumsnet thread. And you could easily address that with a blog post that just says how to rediscover your style when you haven't been out in 6 months or something like that. Or how to style an LBD when you haven't been out in 6 months. How to pick a perfect pair of jeans if you're carrying 10 pounds of baby weight. How to turn that wardrobe full of clothes you never wear into something that looks fresh for today. So lots and lots of ideas for blog posts. And you might decide that, well, actually, I want to broaden my readership and do a blog for fashionistas between 25 and 65. And in each case, you might want to do a different empathy map for different types of readers. So it's a really powerful technique for brainstorming, for getting inside the head of your reader and learning what you can do to really compel them to read your work.
So now it's over to you to try empathy mapping for yourself. Check out the challenge in the next lecture along with the guide to empathy mapping. I can't wait to see the empathy map for your reader.